We won the largest share of black and Hispanic votes of any Republican in the history of our country, recorded history of our country. You take a look at the border of Texas, the governor called me, Greg Abbott, who's a great guy, called me up. He said, you won every single town on the border, and these towns were always blue. They were a dark, strong blue, and we won every single town up and down the border.
A triumphant Donald Trump crowing about a message and a path forward which clearly resonated with many Americans belonging to so-called minority groups. For Democrats, the decisive loss on November 5th will either lead to extended denial or what some like to call a come-to-Jesus reassessment. Panel, while they say hope is not a strategy, I'm hearing some Democrats who would rather bet on Trump-induced turmoil and decline than actually take a hard look at their own playbook. Sue, I got to go to you on that. If they brought you into the Star Chamber, what wisdom would you impart?
First of all, you need to start listening. I mean, really going out into the counties, like along the border, what people were saying. You weren't listening to what they were saying, and they were very clear about why they were upset with. And you, I think, just did. So Democrats got to go on a listening tour, first of all, and really listen to what people in counties want. And then I think, you know, we have a national election, but truthfully, you know, local politics are what affects your life most of all. I think Democrats need to get back to local politics and getting involved in local politics. And again, listening to what the people in not just your party, but what the people in counties and cities want, and then start building back up from there.
I know one really smart guy who said privately and publicly on this show,
yes,
and I'm talking about Paul Castro, said, you guys are missing the boat here. Paul.
Yeah, economics, immigration. White Democrats are more liberal on immigration than Hispanics by 2x, twice as liberal. And you just don't hear that in the Hispanic community. But what you are hearing now, and this is so upsetting to me as just a human being, white liberals and black liberals on Twitter and X saying, oh, you're going to, you know, F around and find out. And what you're going to find out is you're going to be deported. Your family's going to be deported. And I'm like, I'm a fifth generation Texan. I don't know what that means. But as soon as the Hispanic community doesn't obey and get in line, then we're not going to help you anymore. And what that sounds like to Hispanics is a paternalistic, looking down, degrading way of looking at an entire group of people. And any community that's saying that to me, I don't want to be a part of. And so if Democrats think that the way to gain back the Hispanic community is to lecture us and threaten us with deportation, what's the difference?
Yeah, I turned back to that private meeting Bill King had with South Texas Democrats. And it was private, but he said, look, we are tired of being looked down upon by folks in the Democratic Party and tolerated because of our pro-life stance. April, you had a lot to say about this as well.
You know, I want people to know that just because you want a secure border, turns out it doesn't make you racist. Because the Hispanic people that want that, and something that really is happening in South Texas is really critical and was a turning point is if an American citizen who's either first or fifth generation falls on hard times, you have to go swimming against the current to try to get any type of emergency assistance like food stamps. However, just crossing across the border, never contributing a single cent to this country, you are automatically given some type of welfare. And that's just something that doesn't resonate with us who have worked very hard alongside U.S. citizens to build in this country, have U.S. citizen children, and then when they fall on hard times can't get help. The Democratic Party had strayed away, so far away from the general public's point of views, and that they got lost in the abortion topic and immigration.
All right. You know, I talked to Mano Diallo this week, and he said, you know, if we don't consolidate these gains, shame on us. They don't surprise you, do they, Bob?
No, we saw the trend starting in President Trump's first term where he made good inroads into these border counties. This time, he got every border county in the Del Rio, Laredo, and Rio Grande Valley sectors. Only El Paso and one county in the Big Bend sector went Democrat or stayed Democrat. And so massive inroads, and they weren't even close. They were big shifts in the demographics down there. So it does send a message, but apparently Illinois is not getting that message. They came out over the weekend and said that Illinois will continue to be a welcoming state for migrants, and so I guess Governor Abbott can continue busing migrants to Illinois, and because they apparently want them there, and there hasn't been any change in that policy yet. They're still going to continue busing migrants away from the border communities.
All right.